Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are taking a deep dive into some source material all about AI agents.
Right, and our mission today is really to get practical. We're going to figure out what these AI agents actually are, how they differ, quite significantly from simpler AI systems you might already know.
Yeah, like chatbots or basic automation.
Exactly. And we'll look at the many different forms they can take, and crucially, understand when they are the right tool for the job, and just as importantly, when they are definitely not.
We'll also explore the popular frameworks out there that help you build them, dive into why evaluating their performance isn't just, a good idea. It's absolutely essential.
Couldn't agree more. And we'll dissect the common reasons why, despite all the promise, they might fail when you try to put them to work in the real world.
Think of this deep dive as your essential shortcut, maybe, to understanding the practical world of AI agents.
Moving from the core concept phase right through to the challenges of deployment and how to navigate them. Everything we're talking about is drawn directly from the material you shared.
And yeah, we'll be pulling out specific examples, framework details, maybe even dipping into some of the figures and tables from the sources to give you a really concrete understanding.
Sounds good.
So let's start with the fundamental question the material addresses right away. What is an AI agent? Because the sources make it very clear this is different from just having an LLM that answers questions.
Exactly. While systems using something like RAGE, retrieval augmented generation, they're excellent at helping an LLM provide accurate answers by pulling in relevant context from documents.
Right, giving it the fact.
But an AI agent takes that answer or that information and acts on it. They are designed to make decisions, execute a sequence of tasks, and coordinate multiple steps automatically to achieve a specific goal.
Okay, I love the example they used to illustrate this distinction, the insurance one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Imagine you have an LLM enhanced with RG. It could be really good at answering complex questions about the details buried in an insurance policy document. That's valuable information retrieval.
Right. But an AI agent goes further. It could potentially process an entire insurance claim from start to finish.
The whole thing.
Potentially, yes. That means analyzing all the documentation the customer submits, checking it automatically against policy compliance rules, calculating the correct payment amount.
And even coordinating with other internal systems, like triggering payments.
Exactly. Maybe triggering a payment, sending a notification, or even interacting with another agent handling a different part of the process. It takes action based on the context.
That highlights what feels truly new here compared to older automation. My impression, anyway, is that traditional bots often relied on really rigid, predefined rules. Step A happens, then step B, based on fixed logic.
That's a key point the sources make.
Huh.
Older automation needed explicit rules for every possible scenario. AI agents, powered by large language models and other components, can understand context without needing every single rule explicitly hard-coded.
So they're more flexible.
Much more. They can tune their decisions based on that dynamic context they perceive, and, importantly, can learn and improve from their interactions over time. They aren't just following a fixed script. They're making more advanced adaptive decisions in real time.
And this isn't just some, future concept, right? The material points to research, like from Capgemini,
Yeah, the adoption stats are pretty striking.
indicating that 10% of organizations are already using AI agents. And the adoption curve is steep. Over half plan to implement them in 2025, and a huge 82% within the next 3 years.
Which raises an important question for you listening. Why is this happening so fast? And why should you care right now? The sources connect this directly to a core business challenge: productivity lost to administrative tasks.
Oh yeah, the Salesforce estimate.
Right.
Yeah.
That salespeople spend a staggering 71% of their time on things other than selling think, data entry, scheduling, manual follow-ups.
71%. That's a massive chunk of time that could be reallocated. And the sources aren't just talking about sales, are they?
No, not at all. They mention this potential exists across finance, healthcare, technology, marketing really, any area with complex multi-step workflows that could benefit from intelligent automation.
The online retail customer service example really nails it, I think.
It does. When a customer asks, "When will my order ship?" a simple chatbot might just give a generic policy answer.
Which isn't very helpful.
Right, but an AI agent can handle that query end-to-end. It perceives the request, accesses the order management system to pull your specific order details, analyzes that data, and then formulates and sends a personalized response like, "Your order is scheduled to ship tomorrow, and you'll receive tracking information."
Much better.
The benefits are clear: quicker response times for customers, freeing up human staff to handle more complex or sensitive issues, and a measurable boost in overall productivity and efficiency.
Okay, so with that picture of what an AI agent is and the clear drivers behind their rapid adoption, the source material then dives into the different types you'll encounter. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all world.
Right. They provide a helpful breakdown, almost like classifying different species of agents. Understanding these types is key to choosing the right approach for your needs.
Let's start with the simplest category they describe, fixed automation. They call this the digital assembly line.
Yeah, this is the most basic.
Mhm.
There's essentially no intelligence or learning happening here. Their behavior is totally predictable and based only on predefined, rigid rules.
Like traditional RPA bots or simple email autoresponders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their workflow is strictly linear. Input comes in, a predefined rule is applied, an action is executed, and an output is sent. Great for highly repetitive structured tasks, but, they fall over if anything unexpected happens.
Okay. Moving up a notch, you have LLM-enhanced agents. The sources describe them as smarter, but not exactly Einstein.
Hey, yeah. These do use LLMs, giving them some ability for contextual understanding, but they still operate strictly within predefined, rule-based constraints. And crucially, they're stateless. They don't really remember past interactions in a meaningful way.
So good for high-volume, low-stakes stuff, like email filtering.
Precisely. Efficient for things like email filters or basic content moderation. Their workflow just adds an LLM step for that contextual analysis before the rule-based constraint triggers the output or action.
Okay, now we start getting into the agents that feel more, well, agent-like. The next type is React, standing for reasoning meets action.
Right. This is where they break down complex tasks into steps. They reason dynamically about what to do next and then act based on that analysis.
So they can handle multi-step workflows and adjust on the fly.
Yes, exactly. This makes them capable of handling those multi-step workflows and making dynamic adjustments. The sources point to examples like travel planners or project planning tools. Their workflow is a loop. You give it an input query, it enters a reasoning action phase, which repeats, thinking and acting, until it achieves the desired outcome, finally producing an output or action.
Building directly on React, you have React plus RAG, which the sources dub grounded intelligence.
And this is a big step up. This type adds external knowledge access using RG to the React loop. This is critical because it allows the agent to make informed decisions based on accurate, specific, domain-specific data retrieved in real time.
Which helps reduce hallucinations, right? Keeps them grounded in facts.
Absolutely. Dramatically reduces the chance of making things up. These are ideal for high-stakes tasks where precision is critical. Think legal research tools needing to cite specific case law or medical assistants pulling up accurate patient history.
So their workflow is an enhanced cycle.
Yeah. Input query reasoning, action phase knowledge retrieval, constantly looping to think, act, and look up information until the goal is met, leading to an output action. They're like the ultimate research assistants, really.
That RJ component seems crucial for trust. Then we have tool-enhanced agents, the multitaskers.
These are designed to integrate and use multiple external tools, databases, APIs, software applications, you name it.
So they can interact with other systems.
Right. They combine reasoning, knowledge retrieval, if they also use RIG, and pool execution to handle complex workflows that span different systems or domains. Code generation tools like GitHub Copilot or advanced data analysis bots are good examples.
And their workflow involves selecting the right tool.
Yep. Input query, a reasoning phase, then a loop of selecting and executing the right tool for the subtask, repeating until the final output or action. They know how to use a whole toolbox effectively.
Getting even more sophisticated, we find self-reflecting agents, the philosophers.
Yeah, I like that name. These introduce a layer of metacognition. They don't just perform tasks, they analyze their own reasoning process.
They think about their thinking.
Kind of, yeah. They assess the quality of their decisions, learn from their mistakes. This allows them to explain their logic and improve their performance over time.
So they're good for tasks needing accountability, like QA.
It's exactly. Suited for tasks requiring accountability and continuous refinement, such as quality assurance systems that learn from past errors. Their workflow adds a reflection step after reasoning execution, with that reflection feeding back into the loop to refine future steps until the desired outcome is achieved. They essentially critique their own work.
I like the idea of an agent that can reflect on its own logic. Following that, we have memory-enhanced agents, the personalized powerhouses.
These are built to maintain historical context. They remember user preferences, past interactions, and task history across sessions.
Ah, so they get to know you.
Precisely. This enables